Analyst Onur Erim, who joins me live in the studio. Thanks so much for coming in. Let's explore, I guess, a few of the outcomes of Operation Peace Spring so far, starting with the military objectives. Has Turkey succeeded in more or less defeating the YPG, or at the very least, just pushing them back to the point that they're no longer as threatening to Turkish interests?
It seems that way. Turkey has certainly established within a very short period of time a safety zone, which it called, which his main objective was to make sure that there's no terrorist corridor or terror corridor in the region, or a pseudo government trying to be established by YPG PKK. Thus far, Turkey seems to achieve all of its immediate needs and immediate action that it needed to take in the region.
Okay. How much did a lack of cooperation from the United States and the fact that the YPG was still effectively armed by the United States, how much did that hinder Turkey's military objectives being completely realized in this case?
Not only did it affect in the past, it's still certainly affecting. Beating YPG, which essentially is PKK itself, would have been a very easy job, and it was an easy job. But beating a U.S.-backed YPG is a different story, both on the ground and on the table. It seems that both the Turkish government and the Turkish military forces are not moving as quickly or as swiftly or as decisively as they would have liked, because we could still see very clear instances where YPG is still showing their resistance, especially by being backed by the U.S. Will this continue? We'll see. There's also some criticism that the U.S. government is not doing all it should or all it signed for with the agreement, with the accord with Turkey, and maybe to a certain degree Russia as well. So it's not going as smoothly or as quickly as it should, but it is certainly going.
Okay. One of the other challenges, obviously, that Turkey faced in launching this operation was the international condemnation from Turkey's own allies. Do you think these past months have been able to finally prove that Turkey did what it considers the right thing in Syria and in the world's better interest altogether?
It seems that the Western allies, especially those that oppose Turkey's position in northern Syria, do still turn a blind eye, a deaf ear, to the Syrian refugees all over the world, but especially in Turkey. They have been, promising to assist Turkey with this enormous cost, not just, monetarily, but also cultural, incumbents. But they haven't been doing anything. The second part, it's very clear. It just became very apparent when Turkey discovered and started blowing out all the tunnels that are leading from Syria to Turkey, which are now, I believe, just over 400 tunnels. It showed that Turkey's legitimate concern that the YPG forces on the border not only threaten the Syrians that used to live there, but also Turkish security. Do we see any kind of a reply back from the quote-unquote Western allies of Turkey on this? No. They still seem to, turn a blind eye, a deaf ear to the situation. They're just trying to assess it from their own side, which does not fully comply with the Turkish concerns. Mostly and mainly is because they're not the ones bordering with northern Syria. Turkey is.
Right. What about the refugees? Is, this safe zone to be created, will it be completed relatively soon? And if it is, what happens if refugees actually just refuse to return out of fear of perhaps Assad's regime being in charge of Greater Syria?
The refugees in Turkey are just about to complete their 8th or 9th year living in Turkey. Now, all we know from history and from sociology that the longer refugees stay, the less they will want to go back. This would happen anywhere in the world. But still, the latest research on this issue shows that overwhelming majority of the Syrians living in Turkey would want to go back when there is a safe and humane society to live in back in their own country. Will this happen? it all depends on whether the Syrians see that the moving back is okay with them, first of all, on a matter of security, on a matter of living with the basic human needs, and also that, you know, they're going to have to see the difference that living back in their own country, they're going to be better off than living in Turkey. If we can show this to them, majority does say that they want to go back. But to be able to establish this, first we need to create a zone where they will feel safe, at least for, you know, out of their concern for their own lives, for their children, for their family. And then we'll see that, we'll have to see that there's something for them to go back. There's some jobs, there's some life for them to go back. If we can create this, it will happen.
Okay. Onur Erim, thanks so much as always for coming in.